What's up, guys? What's going on? It's back in another video. Just had St. Tammany Comic-Con or Collectors Con this past weekend. Great show. I was only there for one day. I was only there for Sunday, not Saturday, unfortunately, but it was a good show. And I'll give the details, show off some of the books that I stole per usuals, and whatnot. And I got some really cool stuff, so I'm excited to show that off too. But yeah, so I'm in the police academy right now, so couldn't be there Saturday. So my dad and my uncle ran it for me Saturday, and then I was there Sunday. And this was also the first show where Sunday was my better day than over Saturday. And actually the amount that how I did, it's usually like completely reversed. So my Sunday was great, a lot better than I was expecting, and my Saturday was not as good as usual. Probably a number of things. I mean, I have prices on books, but I'm usually a lot more talkative and trying to sell stuff, and I know how much I'm willing to come down on things, and I try to give good deals and work with people. It's not their stuff. I didn't expect them to be as comfortable with it. So it is what it is. And then I think some people, you know, being that I go to a lot of these shows now, they recognize me, they might want to deal with me, but they did well. I was very appreciative of that, and I hope they had fun. But yeah, and then actually I'll show some pictures. My uncle put out some of his stuff and got rid of a bunch of toys that he didn't want, so it worked out. But yeah, so I sold some big books. I made one really nice trade. I'll put pictures up. I'm trying to think of like some of the really cool stuff I sold. I know it just happened this weekend, but I forget. So the trade I made was the Supernaturals 1 Capullo variant. Made that with Paper Chase, and that was an awesome deal we worked out. So I'll show off the books that I got from that. This was actually the only PC thing I picked up, and I need to get a new case for it. It's complete. It's The Thing on PS2. My girlfriend actually made the deal for me. I was looking at it, and I told her I would regret not getting it. So he had 40, offered 30, which is what they're kind of selling for. So I figured if he wouldn't go for that, I would go online and buy it. But the case is a little chewed up, or just used. So the outside case, like this cover on the inside looks fine. It's complete. So I just want to get like some cheap PS2 game that looks good, and then just take this out, put it in. But yeah, I actually had that right here with my other thing stuff. That was the only thing I got for the PC. In terms of like what I sold though, was not mainly, I brought a lot of dollar books. It's only sold a little bit. Like I sold maybe $50 books. Like it wasn't a lot. I was hoping that would be picked through a lot more. Sold a little bit of back issue, nothing crazy there. Sold some keys, but probably most of my money was made from wall books. I say most. People were buying other stuff too, but definitely seemed to be a wall book day. Which that show always seems to be like that, so I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I'll put up pictures. This would have been a PC grab, but I already have it. But it was a great deal for $3. This is the Fly Outbreak number 5. This is the variant cover. It's supposed to be like an old EEC horror sci-fi comic book cover. But I already had that on my wall up here. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, it's that one. So I already have it for the PC, so this is not for me. And then the second thing I bought, which was probably the best deal of the day, or one of the coolest books I found, was this. I couldn't believe the price they had on it. It was Vampirella Monthly number 20, the Bruce Timm variant. And they had 75 on it. I offered 60, they said 65, and I said yeah. And I think this is like a $200 to $300 book. Beautiful cover. So yeah, just really, really cool. I'm sure there's gonna be some people that I know that'll be interested in that. Yeah, really cool book. And so I'll actually show off the next 2 books. So the variant of Capullo variant for Supernaturals number 1. Paper, I had $650 on it. Paper Chase offered me 2 books and $200. So I got $200 cash plus these 2 books. Wolverine #1, the limited series, which is a really nice copy. So I usually always sell this pretty quickly, but yeah, nice copy of that. Should be an easy sell. And then a nice one here, Ultimate Fallout #4, first printing, first appearance of Miles Morales. So again, this is a really good book. I thought that was a really good trade. I was willing to give him like a really good deal on the book, like in just straight cash, and technically the trade would be better for me. So he's like, look, I don't want to do straight cash. So this ended up working out better. So I'm very happy with that, how that went. And I hope he is. And then the last thing I got was from this couple on the end, not far from me. Their whole booth, they were doing half off for the rest of everything in their booth. I guess they just do that on the second day of every show. I don't know, but yeah, this was all half off. And I say half off, and it ended up being like, it probably would have been like 110, 115, and they just said $100 even. So I paid $100 for this stack here. Bionicle #1. Don't think this has any really crazy value, but they only had $2 on that, so cool little book. I like picking this one up, and especially since it was technically $2.50. King Thor #3. It's a really cool Gore the God Butcher cover. It's a minor key, but for $2.50, yeah. Nemesis #1, first appearance of the Nemesis, yeah, for less than $5. JLA Avengers #1, again, for less than $5. I actually was going to go back. They had a #4 that I wanted to grab, but I didn't pick it up when I first looked through this stuff. And then when I went back towards the end of the show, someone must have bought it. So it is what it is. But X-Men 4 First Omega Red for basically $2.50. Can't beat that. These were $10 a piece, so roughly $10 for the pair. Hulk Future Imperfect #1 and #2, First Maestro. This one I might keep. I haven't decided yet, but I just thought it was cool. Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition 2. That's about a roughly $5 book. A really nice copy of Batman 429, and it is a newsstand. There's no real spine ticks. I mean, it's not like a perfect copy, but for it being a black cover, it looks good. Amazing Spider-Man 569. This was $10. First Anti-Venom. And I, for some reason, have like the variant cover of this. Like I've had like 3 of them, but never the first printing. Although the variant cover is a good cover, so that might be why people bought that instead. Star Wars Tales #9. One of my favorite covers of all time. This is Darth Maul fighting Darth Vader. Spider-Man 611, Scotty Young cover. Great deal there. It was only 30, so $15, something like that. This is a good book. I sell that. I think I've had a couple of those and they sell pretty quick. Peter Parker Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man #90. Not a perfect copy, but again, for $15, newsstand. And then probably the coolest book, I actually had one of these in my PC, but this was $20 or less if, you know, like I said, I didn't pay exactly half, paid a little bit less than half. Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. So this was $18 or $20, something around there. So yeah, really good. Sorry, I had to turn the AC off. But yeah, great haul. I got some really good books. I sold some good stuff. The weekend went great. It was good. So I'm very happy with how it went, especially since I wasn't sure how I was going to go after Saturday. But yeah, so I actually wanted to change up my strategy in terms of my back issue bins and keys. I wanted to add another 2 long boxes of key issue stuff, and then do $5 books for back issue. Everything, I'm not gonna take anything less than $5 books unless I have room. So if it's worth between $5 and $8, it's a $5 price tag. And anything $10 or more, I'm gonna price what it's worth. That's gonna be my strategy going forward. Was not prepared to do that for this show, so I did half off on all my back issue, which there was a lot of comic book dealers, so I didn't sell a lot of back issue. Like I said, there's a lot of dealers, so it is what it is. And I brought some dollar books and they weren't really picked through. The keys, they sell fairly well every time for the most part. But yeah, so I have to bag and board, like a lot of that stuff will be for those bins. I got stuff I'm working on right now to get ready for that. And then I had to reprice a lot of the back issue, or just use stickers to indicate that they're $5 books. I'm hoping that way I can quickly move through back issue and replenish that more regularly, rather than hanging on to it for $8 forever. I could sell it for $5 more, more quickly. So yeah. And then I also had the back wall. I think for that show, I'm gonna stop doing that. It is cheaper in the sense that I get 2 spaces for the price of 1 normal 10x10, but I'm putting myself at the back of the show. So it was a good idea, and it wasn't necessarily bad, like I did well, but I think I might be putting myself at a disadvantage being so far from the entrance. So I'd rather pay the extra, like lose out on the extra space to be in a better spot, especially if I'm not really selling a whole lot of dollar books anyway. So going forward, that's gonna be my strategy for that show. But yeah, great weekend. I'm always on the lookout for stuff that I want for the PC. But right now, the 2 things that I'm really collecting, I don't see very often, at least some of the harder to find Dark Horse stuff and Lancer stuff. But yeah, I got things I'm trying to afford in the future, so I can't just be spending all my money at this point. But yeah, and also I'm looking for a lot of like NECA type stuff, like action figures. So if I had seen some stuff I really wanted there, I would have bought it. But I also wasn't there all weekend. I can only dig a little bit for the one day. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. That's it. My next show, I'm hoping is in August, which is 3 months away. So I might be doing some garage sales or trying to come up with some other sales that I can do. But yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time.